Right guys, let's go and fill some holes we made from selling the Nintendo Wii collection. So we've got these 3 shelves, got plans for this. I'm going to move all my Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 games away from here, but knock down the Kinect by one. Tell you what Shred's going to move. We know we've got there, over this side we've got the Xbox One series collection. Our plan is to move them across to here. We're going to start up top with the Xbox One Xbox and work our way down. There'll be more room for Xbox if I ever need it, but I've got the full shelves will be filling up. But the Series Xbox I hope to fit somewhere. And over there we're going to be putting, on that bit case we're going to be putting the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Tell you what's going to be at the bottom, so it's still accessible, but does not need, just got to move it, you can see it, it's accessible, but does not need a primary estate like down at the bottom of that shelf. So that is the plan for today's episode. More game room upgrades, changes. We've got a few more sales for selling the Nintendo Wii stuff, so we're going to run through them in a minute. Mate Steve Skull been up to Norwich recently, picked me up a couple of games, so I won't run through them. That's the plan for this episode, and at some point I want to work through my Xbox original collection. So I'm still going for the full exclusive set of games I want to play, but I've just got to double check, make sure there's not war-based games are not exclusive, so I don't need to have them. So I'm not going to play them, to be honest. We're trying to curate the collection as much as we can, apart from the full PAL Xbox 360 set we are working towards. We've got no massive sales this week, but we have got sales so far while recording this episode. First off, buy vintage sales. We sold Link's Crossbow Training for £1, Far Cry Vengeance for £1, Destroy All Humans Big Willy Unleashed for £1.50, the classic Wii controller for £8, and Sonic and Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games as we play for £4. That's all above voucher price. That's between the voucher and retail price from CEX for them games, so I'm happy with that. And we've had 2 eBay sales, which is always nice. We sold Need for Speed Nitro for £2.71. That's already random pennies are coming from this eBay sales. And F1 2009 box, we got £8, so we've got the full CEX asking price for that, which I'm very happy about. So our current total, you'll see, been going up while I was reading them out. So we're doing quite well towards our target. Steve the Skull picked up from us from Norwich CEX. On the Xbox, it's an Xbox exclusive. For £18 we got Death Row. And of course, every CIB has a really clean manual. This artwork's quite nice. And a random game not many people pick up. I've got 1 out of the 4 in this subset. Firefighter the Simulator for £8. That one even does include a manual in it, Xbox One, which is a rarity. Fun games, but I enjoy these. Not everyone cup of tea simulation-based games. That's our pickups done. You know how much we made so far from sales from selling the Nintendo Wii collection. What my plan is, we're going to get a couple of rows in on the shelf. Because we've not got time lapse it, because you see me put things on and off shelves a lot recently. I'm going to get a couple of shelves done, walk you through the process, so we can see how it's looking. I'll just check in with you every couple of shelves. Because when we redone the 360 wall, you saw me take the whole wall off. I'm not time lapsing again, as and when we do little bits. So I'm going to crack on with a couple of shelves and I'll check with you in a bit. Right, so you can see I put the one Xbox up there. Got Deadpool just filling the gap. What I've done is put all my Xbox One, Xbox Smart Delivery Steelbooks together up there. Quite nice. Got room for its growth, as you can see. Now down here we've got the cardboard sleeves for the full Lego set. Even the Lego Steelbook. Still need to find the actual Hobbit game to go into that Steelbook. Got the Doom big cardboard box and the rest of my cardboard boxes, particularly covers. Got room for growth on them, so I like having them separate. We've got a first shelf down. See what games we're still missing. Yes, I do like my baggies, but when I'm playing a game, it's in the console. It only comes out of bag a couple of times. Would I like to have them not in bags? Yes, but I want to protect my video game. So this is either I've chosen. It's not looking too bad. At some point, I might sort these out once I've got most of the games to Xbox One, Xbox. Really sort them out by how they look, so everything matches up. But then you got stuff like this F122. the full spine art, then F123, so the green top with the Xbox. So you've got a lot of that to go through. That's something I'll probably do once I've got a majority, 90% of the Xbox collection done. These don't look too bad on 360 games, but I bought Blu-ray baggies and they've done this, they're the same size as the normal baggies, so it's one of them things at the end of the day. So what I need to do now is move all the Nintendo games off over to there. I've got another row and a bit of Xbox games to come over to here. That one I've had to give a bit more room to fit the Deadpool cable buddy controller stand into. But Xbox One games are the same height as Nintendo Switch games, so this will be left at the right height. But then what I'm going to do is swap that shelf for one of the shelves over there, because that's set for Nintendo Switch games, and that's set for normal games, because Nintendo Switch cases are slightly smaller depth-wise than they are to Xbox One, Xbox 360 games. So that's the plan. I've got to take that shelf, move it over there. The one with my Nintendo Switch 2's moving is a fixed shelf, so I can't do too much with that. I've set it for Switch games, but I can just adjust that back and readjust one of them shelves when needed. I'll get these two Nintendo shelves moved, get them Xbox One, move the 360 stuff down, and I'll check in with you once this bookcase is a bit more complete. Because it is looking better now, filling it up. So then in theory the game room goes Xbox 360, One onwards. Because as we know, the Series X plays pretty much all the Xbox One games I'm keeping the Xbox One X as it's part of the full family. Right, so you saw the 3 shelves which we did do. We've got the last 2 shelves of Xbox One era games. So your old fish there, got a bit of growth there. But my plan was, at the bottom of this, wanted to fit in the Series X box, so it'd be nice to have that all together. But unfortunately, due to that bloody middle shelf, if I can raise it up a bit, I would have been able to fit it in. I've got a completely empty shelf. So toilet tray is moved up. That's not its permanent home, it's just where it's sitting for now. So all the Kinect games are in, and I've adjusted the shelves. Give it minimal space, do get games out easy enough, but I can't be bothered to move them all back up. So I'm going to sit there for now. Just fills that gap up. But I'm happy with having the Xbox One games together. The one Xbox up there looks quite good. Did try putting the one Xbox down there, but it's the same issue. That middle shelf is a pain in the backside. That Tony Hawk Shred will sit there for now. It's out the way. Fills the gap up. Nice to have another console box in the room. There's potentially I could fit the Series X box on here once I've sorted out the Nintendo shelves. I'll be able to move that bottom shelf down and make myself room for it. So it will be in the room, but it won't be where I wanted it, but at least I'll have it in the room on display. So that's the current plan. We'll attack that Nintendo area, get that looking nice. Want the Series X box in the room, because then it just fits the game room, everything's where it should be. Because there's still 2 more game console boxes I want to get. So then every console got a box. So I want to get a Xbox box, so that way that is complete. And I also want to get an Xbox 360 fat model box, so then I have all 3 versions of the Xbox 360. So we've got the Slim and we've got the E, so I do need a normal box 360, but then we come to display space again for boxes, take up a lot of room, less physical games. So that's the issue. Because we do have these 2 shelves, but they are full of games. From what the old Lego City, I do still have the old floating shelf, so that is a possibility. Putting that up to just put cardboard box display boxes, but where does it go? So I'm not having that above the TV. I'm trying to keep that clear as possible. Potentially fit it along here. Move some artwork around, have the box up. That is an option. So I guess it's like a continuation of shelves. Because it could go from along that way. So starting at the door, going across, that should only fit like Stormtrooper. Don't move that loose Hamilton bricks, that glass. That's on the wall. I'm not trying to knock that down. So that's a potential area I can use, is there. Over there, so I have to bring the shelf in and assess it. That's so then I can display more boxes which would be nice in the room, because that's what I want. So I want to display all my consoles together with their boxes. But that's a problem for later, so I'm going to crack on with the Nintendo shelf, get the Switch 1 and 2 games on, put the Series Xbox there, and I'll check in with you guys in a little while. Right, so we have got the Nintendo onto the shelf. You can see you've got Nintendo 1 and my Nintendo 2 collection. May put some forward facing in a bit, but I've still got to put all my knickknacks where they belong. Did measure up, the shelf I had spare was 120 centimetres, that encroached on the area I wanted to go to, even on that side. Don't really want to cut it down because it was a nice size shelf. So that rules that out. Because I'll fit the Series Xbox there, but I'll lose a whole shelf, so that's a no-brainer. So that's staying as it is. Put them nicely spaced out. Do want to get that Series Xbox somewhere. I'll put it above the TV because that's... Don't know going there, but it's got to be nothing heavy because it's above the TV. That's reserved for Mark Noble, a signed Mark Noble shot when I finally pull a trigger on one. So that's going there. Jill Flinharty shirt. That would look quite nice pairing like that. Only other option I've got is in having this nice little display at the bottom. Condensing it down and have boxes there, but then it won't feel as nice. So I like boxes there. You've got your nice toy to life display there. That works quite well. And that's left that gap for a Skylanders Trap Team big box when I finally find one. That means I've EV Skylanders big box. But no need to do that, but that's how I want them. So that's to be done at some point. So for now, that looks like they're going back into the studio above the Lego display. The Lego collection for now. So I've got nowhere for it to go. If you've got any ideas how I can display that nicely in a room without losing any more games or shelves, do let me know. Because I've got another 2 boxes potentially to add. I want to display them somewhere nice. So I've got 2 shelves available over there for growth for Nintendo Switch or whatever comes out next if I have it. I've got room here for the Xbox One to grow because that Tony Hawk Shred can go down there. That leaves me 1 shelf over there and 1 shelf here. They're staying there for now because it just fills that out. Once I put the coffee table and the scratching post back in the way, you don't really see them 2 shelves, so they're not vital to have filled straight away. So I'm planning now is to put all these in the right locations. All the Nintendo stuff needs to go on Nintendo shelves. Disney video figurines just go up beside the 360 games for now. I've got space for the next Xbox One games. And I also need to go through the Xbox collection and find any games like wall-based like Brother in Arms. If that's not an exclusive, I'm not keeping it. Go through that sort of things, thin it out a bit. So I'm still going to collect for it, but not full set in it. Only going for the exclusive, so don't really need all these wall-based games. So I've got to go through that at some point. Don't know if that's today's video, tomorrow's going to be done today or another day, but that needs to be done. I will check in with you guys once I've got them shelves tidied up. I'll stop for a lunch break before I decide if I'm tackling that bookcase. And then that's every bookcase redone in the room. So, we redone the 360 bookcases and they never looked better. I'm happy with them. Even from this angle, we've got some cool artwork on show. But we all know a game room is a living, breathing organism, so we've got to keep evolving. The game room never done, but let's see how I get on with improving these changes. Once I've got all the display done, I want to go through that shelf. Mainly use my DLZ apps because I've got all the artwork on. Got my whole collection on there, so I'll look, see through what I got and then remove them off spreadsheets, and I know how much space I'll gain at the bottom. The Halo Cut Big Box, which is all 3 Halo games on the original Xbox. I know I've got them all, but having that cardboard edition would be quite nice. The artwork and that's rather nice to have, so but things like that I want to add. So I've got to make space somehow. Right, so I've set up the Nintendo shelf now, so I haven't got anything forward facing. Nothing really grabbing me for artwork, so I've left them all spine, and that's alright because it's quite uniformed. I'll try to get all my Mario Kart figurines with the Nintendo stuff, which works really well. Got my spare baggies down there, so that's... I'm happy with how that's looking. You've got mostly all Nintendo stuff on top of it as well, so it really locks it in as a Nintendo shelf. If that one's done, which looks brilliant, lively to look at that now. More room for the Xbox One. Actually easy to get to my Xbox One. There, where it was nice having the Xbox all around me, but Nintendo there's actually a better idea, I think. Let's go back in the studio. I have ordered the bracket to actually hang up the neon McLaren from the Extreme E car. So that's done. The export shelf we're going to sort out another time because I'm running out of time. So that'll be done another week. So we just go through that, work out what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of. Still going for the full exclusive set. That's what I'm still sticking to. So I'm going to need to look into that. So that's to be done on our next episode. And also, I need a little bit of help from you guys. I need a bit of help from you guys on this department. So we've got the 360 controller and the Xbox One controller on the console. Ideally, I would like them upright so I can see the controllers. So something like, I do like them like that so you can see them, but I don't want them in front of the console. Want them up there, but you can't get a 3D. Want them up there, you can't get a 3D bracket to fit them. You can't. You sort of get them like that, but I haven't found a bracket where I hold them in that sort of degree. If you can make 3D things, or know someone who can do that 3D bracket style, because that elevate the display, I believe. Both of my Switch Pro controllers are going to get some stands for, so we can have them upright on display, because you don't need to see the Switch logo. That'll elevate that. There's also been one other upgrade to the collection. That you can now see there's a light above Marcus Phoenix, self-adhesive LED lights, 3 AAA batteries, but elevates that, shows it's not in the dark anymore, and we get the same light over the Gears of War 360 display. Just to push shines a light on it, nothing's in the dark. You can actually see all the detailing, which makes this better. Even in the dark this really does pop now. So that's everything for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video, smash the subscribe button. I'll catch you lot